Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and having a great day. As you may be able to tell, this will be a slightly different video. I'm thinking of, or I would like to try something new. Pretty much during my normal videos, I skim through the news that we have during the week. I try to make my videos less than 10 minutes so you guys can go on about your day after you have heard the news, but there are a lot of really important things that are happening in cryptocurrencies, and I'd like to kind of go over them more in depth. The entire point of this, the main point of this, is to create a dialogue between me and everyone else out there who's listening to kind of get your ideas as to what you think is happening in the cryptocurrency world. There's a lot to go over, so I'm thinking about maybe doing these possibly once or twice a week, maybe on the weekends when there's not as much news, and I have the things that I didn't go over during the week, I can maybe go over them more a bit in depth so we can all talk about exactly what's happening in the market, because I understand that, you know, I like putting out the news and stuff like that, but I think this could also definitely help as we go along to get people talking about exactly what's happening in the market. So first off, the prices are actually back up, which is great to see, but this is exactly what we're kind of going to go into. I've been doing a lot of research on this for the last couple of weeks. Oh yeah, sorry, side note, you may notice that I may sound slightly different. The microphone that I normally use is actually in use by someone else, so I'm using another microphone that I think previously used before. So sorry if the quality for this video isn't as high as the other ones, if you even noticed at all. But yeah, just in case you hear something different. So yeah, the point is, this is great. I actually don't have any Stellar at all, but this is actually great to see that the other coins are breaking out of the mold. And this is, okay, so moving forward, market manipulation is something that we've spoken about in a couple of videos, but like I said, it was always skimmed over. We normally talk about it for, if anything, it's less than 3 minutes. We kind of talk about exactly what's going on, but I think this is very important to talk about for the simple reason that this is no longer something that I think we can ignore. When I first started talking about market manipulation in the cryptocurrency market, I think that one video, I think I had about 30 comments with people either cursing me out or telling me that I was spreading FUD and et cetera, et cetera. I knew nothing about Bitcoin. I can't believe you are running a cryptocurrency channel where you are talking about this kind of stuff. You're supposed to respect Bitcoin, whatever the case might be, whatever people said to me during that day. I said in my last video or the video before that, we know without a doubt that gold and silver are manipulated. We know the housing market is manipulated. We know that stocks and bonds and mutual funds and especially hedge funds, these things are manipulated by the higher ups, and it's just not even how things are, it's just how things work. When you have billions of dollars, this is what you are going to do with your money. You're going to figure out how to make more money, and especially when you control the entire system, this is what is going to happen. But it's been coming forward recently that even the SEC and other institutions and other companies who have been looking into this, they are pretty much certain now that market manipulation is rampant in the cryptocurrency market simply because of how easy it is to do this. They say we are concerned about a lot of the issues around manipulation, whether it's spoofing or any other forms of market manipulation that are out there. Spoofing, front running, wash trading, pump and dump, insider trading. There's a question of how are they being watched for, et cetera, et cetera. When Bitcoin first started, okay, I don't even know where to begin on this entire situation. So it comes down to, I was reading a lot of articles, and maybe even one of them up here says the entire thing or something along the lines of it. We were talking about why once we hit January, this was a very significant time because the markets were completely up and everyone was very excited that Bitcoin had just hit 20,000. And, you know, in our minds, in our hearts, we all believed that Bitcoin would continue to go up in value because this is the trend that we saw happening. We understand that prices cannot go up forever. But at the beginning of January, this is the exact same time when South Korea came forward and talked about banning. This is when Russia came forward. This is when China came forward. This is when Hong Kong was constantly in the news about what was going on. We had news about Japan. This is when Trump came forward talking about cryptocurrencies. We had talk from some countries in Africa. This is when there was rumblings of regulation talk in Europe. I understand that all of this is coordinated, and this also goes into the exact same thing when it comes to market manipulation. But so this is, take this for what you will. I saw this on Medium. I think someone had posted this earlier, so thank you for posting that, and I read through it. This person believes, and I am not beyond believing it myself, if I can say that there is something that he believes, something called the cartel within the cryptocurrency markets, that is, they have pretty much taken control over the entire market, and they're doing it not only for their benefit, but they're doing it to destroy the entire cryptocurrency market. That is to say, they may do what they want at will. They do this because they want to. They do this because they are in control and they know exactly what they are doing and how to control other markets. It's not very difficult to control anything, especially when we were talking about the entire thing with Mt. Gox. First of all, like I said, for those who don't know about the entire Mt. Gox thing in 2013, 2014, it is believed now, after going through all the data, they believe that the entire pump from Bitcoin going from $100 to around $1,200 during that time was because of Mt. Gox. They had such a huge amount of money behind them, and they were the biggest cryptocurrency exchange. All it had to do was manipulate it into putting a certain sell order into the market, and this is what happens. Fast forwarding to the exact same time when everything else was happening with Mt. Gox this year, and that what was it? Not the I'm gonna say the referee, the guy who was controlling the money that Mt. Gox held when he was putting in the sell orders for $100 million. This guy knew better. No one puts in a sell order for $100 million, and when you do this is when the prices start dropping, because it's not as much liquidity as we would hope in the cryptocurrency market at the moment. This person has kind of graphed everything out, and it literally, it's down to the futures, it's down to other people manipulating the market, and it's not so much of a, why now, we kind of know why, but it's, can we get control of it again? Like I said, I will try. It's probably not going to happen because my brain is all over the place right now, so this is why it sounds kind of scattered, if you will. I'll try to remember to post this in the comments section below so you guys can read this as well. Pretty much this guy goes through, whoever wrote this article, they went through everything, and they were talking about the exact same time that the dips were happening and how many times the market attempted to pick itself back up. And you see these smooth shots straight down. These were apparently sell orders that were happening, and not even just from the guy Mt. Gox. There were apparently other times when the market continued to try and pick itself back up, even in March, and it was also shot back down repeatedly over and over. And it kind of begs the question, who would be doing this? Because if you've been in cryptocurrency since at least the summer or even December, you obviously are in this to make money. So why would anybody continuously slam the price back down over and over and over, and in such smooth motions, especially because the sentiment is everybody wants the market to go back up. Even when you hear these people on CNBC, CNN, Fox News, wherever you are getting your crypto daily news from on the television, all these people are extremely bullish. They're always talking about that the prices are going to go back up. They believe that the price will do this, and the price is definitely going to do that, and but then prices continue to slope back down. So it's kind of, yeah, you guys really get what I'm saying. This is why I said this is going to be a different type of video where we get to talk a bit more exactly about what's going on in the market, because I'm sure I'm not the only one who is. It's not that I'm concerned, because I understand that manipulation does happen, but it's gotten to the point where it's kind of like, this is a bit much right now. So this guy is talking about the uranium charts, and he says uranium rose from $5 to $130 from the course of 1993 to 2007. He said once the futures market got started, this is exactly when the entire thing tanked. I believe he also has it for the gold chart as well. Gold and silver have not been able to recover since futures markets have entered into the scene, and this is what the point that he's making is, since we've had futures in cryptocurrencies, this is the kind of prices that we've seen, and the market has repeatedly tried to pick itself back up, because despite all of the regulation, despite everything that we've had in the market, everybody wants the prices to go back up. This guy, not even for whatever reason, in the article that he wrote here, he pretty much says that this is being done on purpose. And I hope for the love of goodness, that he is incorrect. This is not to scare anyone. He says that we may never actually recover to where we were before, because the point of this is to pretty much throw mud onto cryptocurrencies. If everyone is believing in cryptocurrencies, if there's a huge fervor in South Korea and in Europe and America, and all these people are making tons of money, the people who do not benefit the most from this are the people who control the world. He calls them the cartels. There's also another really interesting thing, if I can find it. I'm not going to go through this entire thing because I sat here reading this and my mind kind of exploded all over the place. There was when cryptocurrency started reaching their height and everything was going really, really fast, and we got at the point where we hit 20,000. Everyone's like, wow, how much higher can this go? Yeah, even this here, it's just very odd that this is all happening. Let me see if I can find the photo. Yeah, this guy, I remember this happening. He said, do you know Leo Melamed? He said he made this comment without this knowledge. Nope, he did mean this, and you can see this on December 17th, 2017. I remember him saying this. I don't know if I even mentioned this in the video. I figured this was one of the things that I shouldn't put inside of a video because nobody really wants to hear something like this. He said out loud, I remember hearing this, he said, we will tame Bitcoin. You don't make... What normal human makes a statement like that? Who says things like this unless you are somewhat aware that you have the power to control something that you are dealing with? Whether he knew it or not, he made this statement. Whether anyone else caught it, this I believe is very significant. Now, I've said this before in other videos, and I know it seems I am careening off the path. I am not big on conspiracy theories and stuff like that. But like I said before, I think you would have to be foolish to believe that the markets are not controlled by the higher-ups. When you have something... You guys know how I feel about Ripple, you know how I feel about XRP. When you have something even like Bitcoin, something that can completely disrupt something that has these families have built wealth over the last 200, 300 years on the backs of other people, and they've learned how to manipulate everything around them. When you have something that someone created in their backyard, in a small, tiny room somewhere, that can completely stop what you have built, this is when they're going to start to, come for us. Like I said, not to spend too much time on this one particular thing, especially on this one article. This guy says cartels. I don't know if it's that serious or if, we would even be able to call it a cartel. But this is, when you have things like CBS or CNBC talking about manipulation, it's typically because they have some type of information that we don't. The people who control these markets or these networks, they kind of all work together, and this is what I kind of believe is going on. I personally believe, and like I said before, in my heart of hearts, that what is happening is that the market is being pushed down so that once regulations have been completely pushed through, we had from, what was it, Thailand? I think they said earlier it was going to be in April that we'll have proper regulations. Japan, I think they already have proper regulations. Europe has said, I believe, by July 1st, we should have proper framework for exactly how everything is going to work. I believe in the U.S. as well. This is, I think, sometime in June for the U.S. is when we will have proper notice on exactly what's going to happen in the crypto markets. I firmly believe once we have this news about what's going to happen, that this is why everything is being pushed down. I do not believe that normal everyday people actually care that much about regulations to completely sell off, because if you think about it logically, when the market sells off, we've had certain days where I've opened up CoinMarketCap and the market is up by 2, 3, 4%, and the next day I have the window open again that shows you the prices, and prices down by 14, 15%. This is 20, 30, 40, 50 billion dollars that's being lost in one day. I don't think that normal people are selling off $50 billion worth of cryptocurrency at one time, especially when a lot of people aren't into technical analysis and all these other things. But yeah, this comes back to the entire thing. There are many ways that our market can be manipulated. I wish I had saved the actual article that I was reading earlier because it made so much sense. It was pretty much saying how a lot of things have been coordinated in our market, the things that have been happening to it. And a lot of the manipulation doesn't come down to just, these rapid sell-offs. It comes down to the news that's being pushed on us, the things that we're being told, why certain things are happening at certain amounts of time. Because when you push fear into someone's heart after a certain amount of, days or even weeks, the fear kind of gets to them. But the crypto market has been relatively resilient. Like I said before, we've had times where we've had very, very, very bad news, and the market has kind of shot back up right after that. But what have you? It's been spoken about in more than a couple places at this point. Yeah, sorry. I just think I don't think that this will end anytime soon. But how do I say this? I'm trying to... Yeah, could price manipulation be killing Bitcoin? I think that's an understatement at this point. What I think it's all going to come down to, and this is why I say I can't tell you guys what to do, and I will not ever tell you guys what to do. But I think this is all happening on purpose. I don't think the prices will stay down forever, especially when you look at the other charts. And you see all these countries who are now coming forward who are talking about creating their own cryptocurrencies, that are creating their own countries' cryptocurrencies and other things like that. And banks who are now opening up and, talking about being able to store cryptocurrencies. This is not happening by accident. That the fact that all these other companies and countries and corporations, and I can't scroll down for some reason. Don't know why. I think my screen has completely frozen. Yep. If you are seeing this, I do apologize. Yeah, that was very, very, very odd. Sorry if you actually saw any of that. That was very weird. So the entire market manipulation thing, on a segue to that exact, that was very, very weird. That kind of, I wonder what just caused that. Probably maybe too many videos or too many tabs open. As you can see, I have a slew of tabs that are open. I mentioned before, a lot of people have messaged me, whether through email or on the channel. They have spoken about Telegram. Once again, to repeat it, I am not on Telegram, but another part of the market that I'm definitely going to talk about is the amount of tokens and the amount of scams in the market. And this is another reason why we are being regulated, and another reason why we have regulators on our backs. It is simply because of things like this. When you type into Google crypto pump and dump, these are literally the things that pop up constantly. There are even ways to find other people who are talking about pump and dump things that they are running or they are doing. I'm not going to tell you to Google around for it, but there are tons of places where they talk about exactly when they plan on dumping something, when they plan on doing this. And this is how a lot of people start to lose money, and this is why we have a lot of manipulation in the market. I don't typically use news.bitcoin.com. I use them sometimes for some articles. They are very one-sided. I believe this is the same people who created Bitcoin Cash. So their website typically leans toward Bitcoin Cash, but I thought this was extremely relevant for this topic. The number of different tokens in existence is debatable, with estimates ranging from a couple of thousand coins to over 80,000, and I definitely believe it's over 80,000. All that can be agreed on is that it's a lot, and the number is mushrooming with every passing month. CoinMarketCap lists over 1,500 coins and tokens. There's another 12,000 that have launched on the Waves platform, plus more than 68,000 tokens that exist on Ethereum. Most of these latter tokens haven't launched, but their mere creation via smart contract is enough to sow confusion. There are 20 ERC variants of the Petro alone. We spoke a bit about this. Is what I'm saying. We spoke about this a day or two ago, about how many tokens are floating around on the crypto sphere, and I think a lot of people disagree with me. I got it. I get it. I understand. We have a lot of businesses. This is the free market. I get it. We live in a free world. The problem is that when a company or anything similar to it is allowed to have an IPO and is allowed to go public, they have typically made sure that other people know that they are real, they are not fraudulent to a certain degree. They have been tried and tested, and they are true, and everyone knows that they are real. When you have a new market like this and tons of people are getting into something that they believe can make them rich, there were even, we were talking about this a couple of months ago, there were even coins. There was a coin called Scam Coin. There was one called Pump and Dump Coin, and people dump their money into it. When you have things like BitConnect. When I first started the channel, do you know how many comments I got from people telling me to talk about BitConnect? How great it was, how cool it was, how much money they made, how they so and so and so. And people, like, there were people calling me names and not threatening me, but, you know, internet threatening me. Why wasn't I talking about BitConnect? How, you know, BitConnect was the greatest thing. Me and my friends made $20,000. You're lying to your supporters when you don't talk to them about. When you have so many coins, I mean, I'm not a pro by any means, any way, shape, or form, but I do my research. I make sure to read around a lot. If I have nothing else to do, I spend my time watching videos on YouTube about what's happening in the crypto world, what events are happening, who's going to be talking at them, what coins are launching. And I think we've gotten to a point where there just may be too many coins. Because I'm going to be 195,000% real with all of you. You may disagree, like I said. Humans have existed for a pretty long time. The technology that we have now didn't start until maybe the 50s, late 50s, 60s, 70s, and we've evolved from there. We have gotten through all of these years without cryptocurrencies. There's no reason for Ford to create their own coin. There's no reason for Telegram to create their own coin. There's no reason for WhatsApp, for Facebook, for any of these things to create their own coins. There are certain coins that will have real world uses. This is why I keep saying, if you're going to pay attention to the coins, try and pay attention at least to the top 100. If you can skim it down to the top 50, you can skim it down even more. Top 20, maybe top 30 coins. There are a lot of bankers and investors, when they create these funds and stuff like that, or when they have gone on CNBC and they're talking about which coins that they own or which coins that they're buying, they have mentioned multiple times that they are simply buying the top 20 and the top 30 because these are the coins that will have the most value in the end. These are the ones that have the highest liquidity. These are the ones that have the highest market cap. These are the coins you should be focusing on. If you're going to focus on something that's on number 400 and you put your money into it and then you lose all of it, this is going to be a problem. This is why I always say, please do your own research. This is very, very important. So there was apparently a YouTuber who was talking about a coin called Matrix, Matrix. Told a lot of people that who were following him to get into Matrix coin. A lot of people found Matrix coin, but they bought Matrix. And this is what happened to Matrix. The coin completely shot up in value, and people didn't realize that he was talking about a completely different coin. The fact that there are people who are actively talking about pumping and dumping coins is amazing to me. I don't think you understand the significance of this. This is literally like, imagine a hedge fund manager who controls about $20 billion in funds and assets going on to ABC for an hour-long show and talking about he's going to pump a stock. That is, if we had insider trading inside of cryptocurrencies, and when we eventually do have insider trading in cryptocurrencies within the next 10 years, this is going to be a major thing. And I do not condone it because there's so many people. I want you guys to understand. I know it's going to sound cheesy. I know you may think it's fake. I don't care what a lot of people think. I only have this channel because I genuinely like to help people. It's one of the things that I like doing in life. I like to help other people who want to make money, this is the whole reason why I'm doing this. I do not have to make this or do this channel realistically in my life because I have other things going on, but I do this every single day, sometimes twice a day, or even making this video because I do like to help people and I want other people to understand the cryptocurrency markets. I want them to understand what they're putting their money into, and this is why I said before that I focus on certain coins. I don't tell you when this coin is going to moon. I don't tell you when this coin is going to pump. I don't tell you how this coin is going to so and so and so. If I give you news, it's about an indication that someone else said that this may possibly happen in the near future over the next 6 months or something that's happening. I never, ever will ever tell you this coin is going to 100x, because what ends up happening is that things like this happen. People bought this coin and it dropped 100%. And then they end up losing all their money because they don't really understand the market and people aren't really digging deep to see exactly what's going on in all of this. We talked before about people not really caring about what they're investing in. I understand this channel is about making money. Take 10 minutes. If you're going into the bathroom, take your tablet, take your phone, read about what you have put your money into. This was before when Vitalik Buterin, he's the creator of Ethereum, he had there was some type of meeting or a what's it called? One of those things where you kind of talk in front of people, like a panel or whatever the case might have been. He was talking to a whole bunch of people, was telling all these people about plasma and Casper and about sharding. And after the entire event, he said so many people came up to him, they were shaking his hand, and they were asking him, when can they buy the Casper coin? When can we buy the plasma coin? It's very important to understand what you're getting yourself into. If it sounds like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck. If it sounds like a scam and someone's telling you, yeah, this is definitely going to go up, you should probably stay away from what these people are telling you. This goes on to the entire manipulation thing. There are a lot of banks that are coming forward. I think there's some, what was that? There's some, I don't know if it's a mailing website, whatever the thing is called, monkey bone, monkey leg, monkey stick, something that also has talked about banning ICO ads. Denmark's biggest bank has once again warned customers against cryptocurrencies. I wonder what the end game is for all of this. This is just me personally. I'm sure you all wonder as well. I've said before, I think this is the golden era of cryptocurrencies. One day we will be telling our kids about dealing cryptocurrencies and how crazy it was when in about 10, 15, 20 years, when cryptocurrencies are only getting a maybe, 5, 10, 15% increases in an entire year. Exactly what's going on, because we know that these banks are buying cryptocurrencies. We know that they're in it. I feel like warnings from people, from banks in particular, always come down to them telling other people don't do X, Y, and Z simply because they're doing it themselves, and they feel the need to tell other people, you should not be doing this because this is how they make money, whatever the case might be. So this, I didn't talk about this in the last video. The last video was about futures, and it was pretty much about how the futures are affecting the price of Bitcoin and what it could possibly be doing. So we spoke about this in the front ones. When the futures market first started, everyone was really excited. I think when the first time when Bitcoin crossed over the $10,000 line, because everyone was like, this is the legitimate thing that we have been waiting for in the cryptocurrency market. For some reason, the market at some point, the futures market, went from around $7,000, and I think it flash crashed to, it had to be around $3,000 or $4,000. And a lot of people are wondering why, because typically the futures market will reflect the general price that Bitcoin is floating around right now. But when people are paying attention to something and they're not paying attention to another thing, if you see Bitcoin crashing in value on the futures market and not understanding exactly what the cryptocurrency market is, as futures do not directly deal in cryptocurrencies, you may become worried, and it makes you wonder, what could people possibly be thinking? Because we know we have a lot of naysayers in the cryptocurrency market who already believe that cryptocurrencies are going down to $0. I saw someone talking about Bitcoin was going down to $1. If Bitcoin goes down to $1, please send me an email as quick as possible so that I can buy as many of them up as completely possible. I don't even think that Bitcoin could ever hit $1,000 unless literally someone blew up a part of the system and there was like a 65% attack or something like that happened. But there's just a lot of stuff that's going on within the market that has made me, I'm not losing confidence in it, but I want to believe again. I'll say it that way. I've been in this market for a long time, and the fact that there's just so much news about manipulation and so many other things that are people who are coming into this space, it's kind of all kind of weird. During the entire futures market thing, there was let me see if I can find the exact thing. Yes, a Hong Kong cryptocurrency exchange, OKEX, announced today it would take steps to address its Bitcoin futures contract March 30th after abnormal pricing saw one user even threaten suicide at its head office. The entire thing that happened with this guy, if I am not mistaken, is that this guy apparently, yeah, in a video currently circulating on Twitter, an OKEX trader who reportedly lost 11 million yuan. This guy lost $1.7 million in a fiasco, is seen to threaten CEO with committing suicide by drinking poison at the exchange head office in Hong Kong. This is very serious. I'm not as, I'll say this way, I am not as wealthy as I would like to be, but once again, I think the people who are controlling the market don't understand 100% that they are affecting the lives of other people around them. I have a lot of friends who are into cryptocurrencies. I have a couple of friends who were doing very, very well. They were, whether they were day trading, whether they were holding, whatever the case might have been. And the entire drop has kind of ruined their perspective on cryptocurrencies, and it kind of ruined what they wanted to do. You know, the saying is, don't count your chickens before they're hatched. And I think we all did this. We got to a point where we believed the market would continue going up. But what's happening now, the people who are pushing the price down, I don't think they are aware, if they even care, if that they're aware, that they're now affecting other people's lives dramatically. The same exact thing with the BitConnect fiasco. There are a lot of videos, if you happen to have the time. They're actually, some of them are kind of sad. I was watching and looking through them. There are a lot of people who were talking about suicide. There was that one guy who sat in the car and he was talking about, I think he put his life savings or something like that into. He put $30,000 into BitConnect, and the next day, all that money was gone, and it's simply because of a pump and dump, and people wanted to believe so hard that this thing was real. There's actually even another video. I wish I could remember the name of the crypto YouTuber. There are a lot of people who have dedicated their YouTubes to like finding scams and stuff like that. And there was one, he made a video about all the people on YouTube who were talking about BitConnect and who were talking about how great it was and who were talking about so-and-so. And even after we knew and figured out that BitConnect was a scam, they were still making videos. There was one girl who was making videos. She was talking about, it's not as bad as it looks. You know, it's still, I still have faith in it. And she told people to push more money into it. If you are a crypto YouTuber, I cannot and will not tell you what to do with your channels. It's your channel. You can do whatever you want. People are going to constantly hype up coins that have no reason to be hyped up or pumped up or so and so and so. Just pay attention and realize not to make this video super serious. You are dealing with other people's lives who are on the line. You may have made your money in cryptocurrencies. You may have cashed out. You may have cashed out $250,000 over a year of doing whatever you might be doing. You are on a smooth sailing path to victory. There are people who listen to your videos and who are going to listen to other people's videos who they want to make money. They may not be in the same financial situation as you. Not to even focus on this. You guys know what I'm saying. But this is going. I think this is going to start to get more serious as we go forward. The sentiment right now is that the crypto market will eventually start going back up over the next couple of weeks. Something like that. We see prices already starting to go back up, which is great. I hope it continues. We don't have any negative news in the market anymore. There's nothing that has been significant enough. We have the US is making regulations. Europe is making regulations. Russia is making regulations. Parts of Asia are also making regulations. There's also news that at some point China may eventually accept cryptocurrencies again, or accept state cryptocurrencies, whatever the case might be. So when prices are continuously going down, this is why I'm talking about market manipulation in this video. This is why this is focused on market manipulation. Like I always say, let me know what you guys think about all of this, because sometimes not that I'm talking to a wall, I feel like I am kind of talking to myself, because I think these things as I go through the day and as I talk to other friends, as I get messages from friends, as I watch other people's videos. And I kind of feel like I'm talking to myself sometimes. You know, I'm the only person who thinks that all of this stuff is going on, that other people's lives are being affected by this. You know, this is something very serious, because eventually, if we do enter a market where we see trillions and trillions of dollars entering the crypto market, and then we have another 70% crash. If you guys look through the history books during the Great Depression, when people lost tons and tons of money, I'm afraid that we could eventually see something like that again, but this is not to focus too much on this. Just going to close some of the tabs. I'm afraid of, like, I don't know if you guys even saw that. Yeah, that blackout screen. It was very, very odd. again, proper regulation should be coming around July. This week, leaders at the 20 largest economies in the world are meeting in Buenos Aires and continue to discuss the world economy and explore possible roadmaps for ensuring global financial stability. It kind of is what it is. I mean, you know, cryptocurrencies are kind of going to do what they want, but I think at the exact same time, I don't know. I feel like I'm rambling on with my my thoughts. Yeah, I'm gonna also try to remember to post this as well. This is exactly what each country has pretty much said about the cryptocurrencies that are, pretty much what every single country has said thus far about what they plan on doing about cryptocurrencies. And I think it's kind of cool because you'll be able to see exactly what your country has said and what they said that they plan on doing with cryptocurrencies. None of them have said ban. None of them have said anything pretty much negative about it. So I am wondering why things haven't gotten up as far as they have before. Yeah, if I don't remember to put these things in the description below, I do apologize. If not, it's literally right here. Type in CNBC Complete Guide Cryptocurrency Regulations around the world, and I am about 99.98% sure you will be able to find the exact same thing. Yeah, so I think I actually even went over some of this in the earlier thing. Yeah, so tell me if you guys like this new weekend format. There's always a lot of stuff that has been going on. There's a lot of stuff that I want to make sure to cover and talk about, but a lot of times you realize my other videos, I know I even talked quick in this video. I did not mean to talk quick, I promise you. I think when I get very hyped up, my words kind of like fly out at the screen. Yeah, tell me if you guys like this. Tell me what you guys think about it. Tell me if you guys would like more videos like this. Tell me if there are topics you think I should go over. Not even just a particular coin, because there's only so much you can talk about one coin. Or if you think or would like me to talk about controversy behind one particular coin, or controversy about this, or anything that may have gone through your mind over the last couple of months of you trading and or dealing with cryptocurrencies, let me know, because I don't want you guys to feel like, same way that I feel sometimes like I'm kind of all alone when I think about certain things. There are a lot of things happening in this market, and I'm sure you all have questions. And I mean, like I said, I don't know everything, but I can try and give you my perspective, or I can try and research a bit more as to what exactly is going on and what other people are saying. But yeah, I don't think I've talked this long in a really long time. I was trying to, whoa, black thing again. Oh, it's happening again. Okay. I was trying to make this a bit more podcasty, if you will. Try and give myself a chance to have a bit more time to talk about exactly what's going on in the market. And yeah, I think this was, at least for the first try, I think this was pretty good. I hope you guys are having a great holiday. Hope you guys are having a great weekend, wherever you are, whatever you might be. Let's hope that these increases continue for about as long as possible. That would be completely nice. Thank you once again for all the support. I know I say this every other video, but I do honestly mean it. We talked about Bitcoin dominance before. Last time we talked about Bitcoin dominance, I think it had 41%. Bitcoin's dominance is now 45%, and I think it had 30% in December. Keep that in mind. Lost track once again. Thank you once again for all the support. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I hope the markets continue to go up. Hope you guys continue to make money. Wherever you guys are doing this weekend, I hope it's great. Hope it's wonderful. And yeah, I will talk to you all soon. See you.